I'll actually jump in and ask you about the origin of this $100 million deal.
So we've gotten to know the folks over at HBC and Lord & Taylor over the past year or so. And the discussions really started as a partnership conversation and evolved as we got to know the leadership, their take on what was happening in the industry, and what we felt like we could bring to the table to really complement what Lord & Taylor's done well. So, they've built an extremely loyal customer base. They're the longest standing clothing retailer in the United States at 193 years old. But they'd been slower to innovate on the technology front. And that's something that we felt like we had done a particularly good job of and have invested a lot of time, money, and resources in over the last 7 years building the Tote.
It's interesting because at one point we might have been asking you, when are you going to sell to Hudson's Bay? And just this week alone, again, we got a report in the New York Post suggesting that Barney's might actually sell itself also to Farfetch. It seems like this is the way of the future. Why is it that online retailers like yourselves and rental subscription companies are able to find the financing to do deals like this?
Yeah, I think retail today is sort of the haves and the have-nots. And I think a lot of these digitally native companies are striking a chord with consumers. And so there's a lot of opportunity to go out and raise capital. I think the cost of capital is significantly lower for these startups and innovative companies than it is for the traditional retailers that have fallen on harder times.
Brett, it's Emma Chandra here in London. Thanks so much for joining us. We're just wrapping up retail earnings season, and it's been a particularly tough one for department stores. Why get into brick and mortar, and particularly this sector of brick and mortar retail?
It's a really interesting trend that we've seen over the last few years. I think our friends at Bonobos really kicked off the trend of going into the brick and mortar space, particularly in clothing. People want to have that tactile experience, right? They want to touch, feel, they want to be able to try things on. And so you've seen a lot more of these digitally native startups that began online move into the retail world. And so we don't believe that people are single channel shoppers today. People are shopping across e-commerce, e-commerce and offline, as well as doing things like rental, which are new to the market, but give people unique ways to consume that didn't exist before. So we see a large opportunity to interact with this extremely loyal customer base that Lord & Taylor has built up, but give them interesting new ways to consume. So we really want to be the one-stop shop for getting dressed for all of our customers.
But Brett, you're not getting into small stores, you're getting into some big department stores here with some serious square footage. How do you plan to utilize all of that space?
So we're definitely going to take the stores as they exist today, which is largely, large format boxes in the Northeast. But our vision is to turn Lord & Taylor into a nationally recognized, innovative retailer rather than just a regional player as it stands today. So I think the boxes today give us an interesting opportunity to experiment, to try new formats. But in the future, I think you'll see smaller format boxes, and we're definitely excited about taking this model across the country. We're based in San Francisco, and we would love to see a Lord & Taylor store in our backyard. We'd love to expand to the Midwest and the South as well. So I don't think the 150,000 square foot box is going to be the retail experience of the future. That's what we're working with today. But I think as we grow and evolve this business, it'll look significantly different than Lord & Taylor does today.
Richard Baker's Hudson's Bay is receiving an equity stake in Le Tote and 2 board seats. What will they expect from you?
We felt it was really important partnering with them, that we got their expertise. Richard's done really interesting things in the retail space over the last 15 years, and he brings a wealth of expertise around real estate. So if our mission is to start expanding and get back into growth mode, we'd love to have a partner like Richard on our board who can help us think about expansion and do it in a thoughtful, judicious way. So I think what they're looking for from us is a couple things. One, obviously they want to grow the business and see their equity stake grow. But secondly, I think they're looking to us to see what innovative new things we're doing that they can bring back to the HBC model. Obviously, they're evolving their business. I think by divesting of Lord & Taylor, it allows them to focus a lot more on Saks and HBC. So it'll be interesting to see what we can do together, as well as maybe there are things that we can teach them about the technology side, and we're really excited to learn from them about the physical retailing side.
You're in the process of securing financing. You have 45 days. Is it going to be a problem? Who's giving it to you?
So we've been in the market this is a deal, as you can imagine, that we've been working on for a long time. So we've got great relationships with banks out west as well as in New York. The conversations are ongoing, but we're very confident that we can get this secured in the next 30 days or so.
Brett, final question from me in London. Your business is subscription retail. It's a very crowded space. How is this deal going to help you stand out on the subscription retail side of things?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're the first digitally native company to go out and acquire a big offline retailer. So we're excited to be the first to try something like this. I think this also gives us an immediate plug-in to a much larger customer base. And Lord & Taylor's built a lot of trust with their customers over the last 200 years. So, for a startup, you're obviously always fighting anonymity, and this gives us a lot of credibility and validation with a customer base that has a lot of trust and nostalgia for this brand. So our mission going forward is to really revitalize what people think of Lord & Taylor and also expand the addressable market for that brand.